Walker for assisting in the video department. Appreciate ya. Hey, Cavaliers win last night in Brooklyn, a 118-95 over the Nets. They head up north of the border tomorrow night to play the Raptors. It's a 7:30 tip-off here on MMS. You can also listen on the iHeartRadio app if you're so inclined to do that. And then they're back here at home on Monday night to play the Sixers at the Romo Fijo. If you listen to us on the app from out of state, you can listen in Brooklyn. You can listen in Toronto. You can listen in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where Beth is one of our bureau chiefs. Kyle is in St. Louis. Mike is up in Hamilton, Ontario. Jonathan is a new listener in Clanton, Alabama. Selena is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Somebody asked me this morning if I went to the Madonna show last night. I was surprised that they asked me. Sure, way back in the day, I did have a Madonna T-shirt. It was that Foxy True Blue. Remember the Dweezil Zappa guitar that had the True Blue era Madonna on it? It was all blue, but she had like the short shock of that blonde hair. Had that T-shirt. But, I did not go see Madonna last night. We had Jim Florentine in here yesterday, and he was going to a show. He was doing the Winchester tonight, but he came in early because he was going to John Five, who plays with Motley Crue now, but used to play with Rob Zombie and used to play with Marilyn Manson. He did a show at the Winchester last night. But 14,000 other people were at the Romo Fijo. Madonna did not sell out. This was the postponed show.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had hip surgery or something. It wasn't because of COVID. This was postponed because she got sick or she had to have surgery. And if you saw any of maybe you went to the show last night. The write-ups on it were pretty good. They're like, look, she's 65, but she's still Madonna and she's still doing a good job. It's when you're on that Jumbotron. That can't be your friend anymore because Madonna has done a lot of things to her face. And it's in no way shaming her to point that out. She just has. And so for people who went, I was clicking around last night and they were talking to people who had gone. And they were like, oh, it was fantastic. And
she's still Madonna. She puts on a show.
She's still Madonna.
She's got tons of hits.
26 songs.
Fine, yeah.
2.5 hours.
Was she late?
She was.
How long? Because wasn't she like 2.5 hours late or 2 hours late to the one show?
Yeah, and I think she blamed the venue or she blamed the promoter or something because a couple of guys are suing Live Nation and Madonna because of the show that she put on. I don't know if it was in Toronto or New York or something like that, but she didn't get on stage last night until 10:10.
Jeez, I was already done in bed. I did my show at High and Dry. And she's just going on at 10:10.
Now,
Lord.
I don't know if there was any opening act or anything like that, but the write-up in Cleveland Scene, the guy who went, he said that he had a couple of minor complaints. One of them was that she went on at 10:10. RuPaul's Drag Race 8th season winner Bob the Drag Queen came out to introduce. But if you're going to do 2.5 hours, for that crowd, by the way, there are no 15-year-old Madonna fans. So you're Gen Xers or older. And maybe younger gay men. Maybe.
Maybe a few millennials my age, like old millennials.
Not me.
Older
Like
millennials.
me,
I'm talking about like
I
40
say-
up. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Madonna was before my age and I'm 34.
Well, and everybody can get into music that predated them, but I just don't think of every generation has their Madonna.
Right.
So you
Ours
don't
is
have to go
Gaga.
to Madonna. What's that?
Ours is Gaga.
Gaga. There you
Yeah.
go.
Mm-hmm. I like 3 songs by Madonna.
Which ones?
I like "Hung Up."
Yeah.
That's like the.
She did that one.
Yeah, I like that one, but that's like they have the instrumental of what is it, ABBA,
Okay.
the whatever it is, the Man After Midnight. I think that's what it is, and then "Devil Pray," which is not a single, but she did that with what's his name? He's dead now. The DJ.
Avicii?
AM?
Avicii, yeah,
Avicii.
the one that sliced his neck.
Yeah.
And then the one he did.
He
did.
did.
He
Broken wine bottle.
decapitated
It's a weird
himself.
way to say it.
He decapitated himself. And then the last song I like is 4 Minutes, and that was with Justin Timberlake.
What's that one she, time goes by?
That's 4 minutes.
Is that one?
So slow. Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's Hung Up. That's Hung Up.
Oh, that's Hung Up. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess like late Madonna.
I mean,
I
that's
don't-
when we
yeah.
were teenagers.
Yeah.
I thought there were some egregious absences. You're going to do 26 songs and you're not going to do Papa Don't Preach?
I don't know that one.
That's
You
early-
don't know that
That's-
one?
That's early Madonna. They
He's
don't know
heard-
that one.
That's such a popular song. There's no way you don't know that one.
She did.
Papa Don't Preach.
She did. She's like doing songs from her movies that nobody cared about.
She
But
had
it's her show.
movies?
You know, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
What movie was Madonna in?
She's in a
Evita?
bunch of movies. Evita, so she does Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. She was in Shanghai Surprise. The single from that was Live to Tell. And so she's doing those.
No.
You've never seen Madonna in a movie?
I've never seen Madonna in a movie.
Dick Tracy. I mean,
Dick
she's,
Tracy.
she's not memorable.
I've seen Cher in more movies than Madonna.
What else? League of Their Own. Her and
She's
Rosie
great.
O'Donnell are great in that movie.
But that's like an ensemble thing. Yeah. No, she's done a ton of movies.
Speaking of
But they're not memorable
I like
movies.
80s
her-
movie soundtracks, I got a Nod coming in today and a Have a Good Weekend. I had my windows down. I had my sunroof open.
Oh, you're talking about here at the
Yeah.
parking garage.
Got some more parking garage attendant cred as I was playing. And I did not think this was going to be one that got me a fist pump, but it got me a fist pump and a Have a Good Weekend. And it was Don Parr, St. Elmo's Fire.
John Parr.
John Parr.
You got a fist bump off that.
Yeah.
Wow, well done.
Because that chorus gets you going, man.
You want to be a man in motion.
Yeah.
You were a man in motion.
I was a man in motion.
You stopped only to let the gate go up.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would have plowed right through it.
Right. I don't want to do that. I got a new car.
Boy, God bless Rob Lowe. He's the only dude who looks exactly the same from St. Elmo's Fire. Everybody else, they've aged as people normally would. Demi Moore still looks good, but she's had... This Rob Lowe, this guy must have a painting of himself getting older in the basement or something. I don't know. This dude looks awesome. So you're blaring St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just felt like a good driving into work song.
Did John Parr ever have another song?
I don't know. I thought his name was Don Parr, so.
Was he the guy that did Naughty Naughty? Yeah, I remember Naughty Naughty was the song before St. Elmo's Fire that gets played every so often.
Just showed up on my day list, and I was like, oh, yeah. You get me.
But he wrote a lot of movie theme songs, but people remember St. Elmo's Fire. He did 3 Men and a Baby. He did The Running Man.
Oh.
He's British. But St. Elmo's Fire was the big one that everybody remembers because he got Grammys for it and, you know.
This music sucks.
Really?
80s music. This 80s poppy, I hate it.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so bad.
But it's
so
not
good.
it's not your generation's music.
Yeah.
So it probably is grating to your ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a song that you listen to on a sunny Friday afternoon when
It
you're
is not.
feeling like you're soaring higher and higher.
That would not be a go-to song for me, but I would never call it garbage if somebody was playing.
I mean, it's not a go-to song. It just happened to be playing when I drove in,
Yeah.
and it's not a song that I'm going to turn off because I haven't heard it in 100 years. So I'm happy to hear it for the first time in a long time. I was
the
like,
80s
oh,
are
yeah,
no different than any other
This is a good song.
than any other decade. There's a lot of great music, there's a lot of trash. But to Mary's ear, that is no good at all.
No.
She's not like a synthesizer.
She does not.
Huh. All right. I mean, there's plenty of synthesizer music in current music.
No, she
It's
doesn't
just
like it.
It's a different
John Mayer did a whole album.
No, he did not.
sob rock.
Wasn't sob rock?
It's supposed to sound like the 80s,
But it
by the way.
doesn't.
Yes, it
It
does.
does.
I heard
okay,
it.
let me ask you how many
And you said
tracks,
you said it was like your least favorite John Mayer record.
how many tracks off that album have you two listened to?
I listened to the whole.
I listened to the
album.
whole thing.
You did?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I like probably 4 or 5 tracks off that album, and then the rest of them I can leave.
So the
But it
one
does
the
not
ones
sound
that
I think it's
sound
his best work.
the ones
It does not sound like what you just played. It
the
does
ones
not
that
sound like
sound the least like 80s
Yes.
okay.
No, it doesn't sound like that, but it sounds more like new wave. It sounds more like Simple Minds and Tears for Fears and stuff like that.
Well, when you say 80s music, I hear synthesizer. Let me see what's on that. Yes, this is a good song.
New Light is
This
good.
New
This was
Light,
the
this is a
single.
good
This is. I give this more of a Depeche Mode feel.
Wild Blue is a good one. I guess I just feel like is a slow one. That one's good. So I guess I like 4. Last Train Home is good. This This does not sound the same as what you just played.
No, I didn't
No,
say it did.
but his point, John Mayer's point, was to make this reminiscent of 80s pop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that it isn't. So, like, should it matter, but it does. I guess I just feel like those are, like, slow ballad songs.
No, you just love John Mayer so much that you're going to be like, I'll still listen to this. Even though it sounds exactly like
are
80s
annoying.
music.
No,
It
we're saying
doesn't.
you're that's the mark of a true fan. You will listen to whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Poundcake's never seen Desperately Seeking Susan.
Bro, who has?
I have.
I mean,
That's her best movie. The bar is low, but Desperately Seeking Susan is a legit good movie.
I haven't seen it.
League of Their Own, great movie, but it was an ensemble thing.
What year was?
A lot of them are garbage. Shanghai Surprise, she and Sean Penn, they were together, so they're like, let's make a movie, and it was god awful. Dick Tracy, okay. Evita,
Dick Tracy's
right.
such a crazy.
It's just strange. It's weird.
That was around the time when they were like, okay, we can make these comic book
Yeah.
movies and people are gonna like it. And then they made Dick Tracy, and they didn't know if to make it a kids movie or make it kind of horny, and so it's got some horniness to it, but it's all within this real pulpy comic world, and it's just a strange one. But I love it. Warren Beatty rules as Dick Tracy.
It's like
it's not a
cartoon-
good movie, but I
No.
love it.
It's like a Dayglow version of Sin City.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
that's
a
a perfect description.
It's a weird kind of, but I mean, she was married to Sean Penn, so they make a movie. Terrible. Marries Guy Ritchie. He puts her in a movie. Awful.
Which one was she in? Which?
Swept away. It's like
Oh.
20 years ago. Anyway, Madonna, God bless. She did 26 songs last night at the Romo Fijo. No Papa Don't Preach, but threw in a bunch of other stuff. Hey, Bill in Lakewood.
Hey, Al. Hate the show.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Bill from Lakewood.
Hey, Bill from Lakewood.
Body of evidence where Willem Dafoe was dripping the candle wax all over, or she was
yeah,
dripping the
yeah,
candle
yeah.
wax on him.
I think that's the only scene I really watched from that
yeah,
movie.
that was
but
supposed to be like their
sexy.
version of
9.5 weeks.
something. Yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
That was all the
Sorry.
whipped cream and crap.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. So this shows you how the superstar divas are so out of touch with the regular paying folk. So, there's a class action suit going on against Madonna because she's starting so late. So the inside info, she did a 2-hour sound check. 2-hour sound check. And if anyone interrupted her, she would start over again. So she went on at 10:15. Okay? Her concert ended at 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Now she has an older fan base and a younger fan base. You can't believe how many people were streaming out of there like midnight.
I believe
gotta
it.
work the next day.
I can absolutely believe it. That's a late night.
Oh, and then she basically shut down the whole arena, so like the people that work there and keep everything going, like you couldn't get to half the places you had to go to. It was out of all my, I think Al, by the way, I'm the guy that met you a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't remember, but I remember. It was an honor.
We met at the basketball game.
There you go.
Yeah,
Great memory. Yeah.
Bill in Lakewood, boy, we're talking for a few minutes. This guy's running around. He's like the go-to dude over there. Everybody's like hitting him up for stuff. People who work there, they're like, "Hey, Bill, can you do this? Bill, can you do this?" Like, yeah, I got the walkie-talkie on him. This guy was like a whirling dervish over there. That's what I
That's
remember.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Yes, it's all chaos. Don't ever believe that it's a fine run show. So, but just between the price of what she charged and people just absolutely livid. Because once you get in there, you can't leave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, the only thing to do was, basically drink. So, and yes, all the beers were cold and the liquor was running fine. So,
All right.
A lot of beer being sold at Madonna shows. I'll tell you what, it was weird when I was leaving work last night and you saw all these people filing over to the Romo Fijo. It looked like a lot of girls dragging their husbands to this Madonna show. So the guys who were headed over there,
I didn't notice any traffic.
there was a lot of people all downtown here going to that Madonna show.
Oh, yeah. When I left, it wasn't.
There were a lot of dudes
weren't really
in
showing up
like
yet, yeah.
camo baseball caps, and their wives dragging them over there. So a lot of dudes doing good work by their wives last night.
Yes, it was a strange mix. There was half, guys getting dragged in there, and then the younger Madonna crew was very uniquely dressed. Is that a good way to put it?
Mm-hmm.
Uniquely dressed, sure. Yes, very diplomatic of you, Bill.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
I'm getting where I gotta go on the other side and retire.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
All right, guys. I just
All
wanted
right.
to give you the secret.
Thank you. There's Bill in Lakewood as one of the guys that making things happen over there at the Romo Fijo. In other mom news, moving on from Madonna, remember the lady who got into trouble because she had the OnlyFans sticker on the back of her car?
Yeah.
Well, her kids have been kicked out of that Christian school. They had to have seen this coming. A friend of mine is down at Fox 35 in Orlando, and she was like, hey, they had the woman on like they have shows around here in the like Get the Hell Up Cleveland or whatever they're called, right? And so they had the mom on one of these morning shows explaining what happened. I didn't realize it required explanation. You're sending your kids to a private Christian school, and you're picking them up with the OnlyFans wagon. Somebody's probably going to have a problem with
What was that?
Approximately 3 weeks ago, I actually got an email from an angry parent that had found me on Facebook, and she reached out to me, and it wasn't until the next day that I got an email from the school saying I couldn't have my car on the property any longer.
So is it just one angry parent, or did that then incite other parents to be
That's
upset
the
with
only
you?
parent that's came to me with concerns. I'm sure, obviously, that there's more out there that maybe have issues, but that's the only one that has brought it to my attention.
And the school came to us and they said if she removes this, she can come back.
Do you think that the people who are interviewing her went on OnlyFans to do their due diligence, right? They did their research. Because she's like Florida in a box, right? Blonde, big jugs, sleeve tats.
Tattoos, yeah.
Yeah, right. The whole thing. I mean, she's cute. Looks like an OnlyFans mom. But these two probably, in the service of doing research, probably subscribed and got a look. It's her and her husband, of course.
Did you consider that?
What's
Where
her
was that
husband
thought
look like?
process?
They had said if I removed it and I removed all social media, that's the most recent thing when they expelled the kids. They said.
So let's talk about that, because you mentioned removing all social media. What is OnlyFans? And, without getting into a whole lot of detail, what do you do on OnlyFans that...
All right. Why are they asking this? Okay, could you explain? Of course, the people watching Good Day Orlando probably legit don't know what OnlyFans is.
Do they know what her
And now
name
she
is?
has to explain what's that?
Did they ever say what her name is? I just want to know.
Piper Fawn is her name. But
Piper-
I think that's her screen name. I don't know if they give her real name.
Okay.
But yeah, she's Piper Fawn on OnlyFans.
I don't want to Google that on this computer, but I want to know
For those of us who want to do our own research
what her
up here
husband looks like.
in Ohio.
could get these parents upset?
OnlyFans can be used for a lot of different things. For
Well, they
me,
do give her
particularly,
name,
it is
Michelle
explicit
Klein.
material, just my husband and I. But I'm not saying that. It's just simply a link on my car. And even then, it's blocked by a paywall, and you have to have ID to get through. There's other websites out there that don't even require that have a lot easier access to see explicit material before mine would.
How long have you been doing OnlyFans?
About 3 years now.
And what made you start doing it? I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm just so curious about this. What made you start doing it?
She gonna start
my
one too.
husband and I have
I was
always,
going to say,
had
the
little-
reporter talking to her looks like looks like somebody who would be on OnlyFans. She got like this skin-tight tangerine dress on, and
Let's
she's got the
go.
extensions in. Maybe these two had a conversation after the segment.
Gear lifestyle where we've just kind of, we always share pictures between the two of us and that sort. So we were never really shy to have a camera in the room with us. And then when OnlyFans kind of took off around COVID, it seemed like you started hearing a lot more about it, and a lot more people started
She's got to have contacts in, right? Those aren't her real eyes.
I was like,
She's
they're
got like
very
cat
blue,
eyes or
yeah.
doing it, and it seemed to be more acceptable. So we figured we would just give it a shot. And at first we started very mild, just, editing, covering faces. And then we just kind of said, if we're going to do it, let's just go for it.
We
So.
want to read the statement from the school as well. They had basically said they want people, it's not queued up, so I'll just go on to the next part of that. They were basically
There it is
saying
there,
it's a
right?
private school
It's
and at this point. All right, so here's the statement. The school said, in part, Liberty Christian Preparatory School is taking appropriate action to protect the innocence of children. There's an argument as well. One, that's part of it, but also...
yes. Christian schools known worldwide for protecting the innocence of children.
I feel
Congratulations.
They would have protected the innocence of children a lot better if they hadn't brought it up.
Yeah.
And now it's something that is going to be talked about a lot at the school. Yeah.
Yeah, well. Yeah, well, they had her on, and I don't know if she was pleading her case, but they had her name and and she's letting everybody know, hey, this is what's going on. Don't let any private institution, and again, that school's well within their rights to do that, but she's letting people know, don't let any private institution harsh your mellow. My husband and I are going to continue making content. It is putting the kids in a weird spot, though, too. I mean, if those kids hadn't been expelled by the school, you have to think the parents would have pulled them out. I don't know if they're known for pulling out, but listen, those kids would have probably eventually been subject to some kind of mockery or disrespect just because their parents are living their best life. Mommy, is that how we were made? No, honey, you can't get pregnant that way. I got a break here. I'll have more money for you. 3:30 is the next keyword from the Buzzard bookie. If you want to give yourself $1,000